and welcome back to my channel. My name's Leora and I talk on here about books, reading, writing and sometimes other things as well. And today I am here with a Studio Ghibli filmed reading vlog, a spin-off off of my recent video that I made where I discussed and recommended Studio Ghibli books, or like books that have the Studio Ghibli vibes. The way I usually do these videos is that there's a bunch of books in there that I'm reading, a bunch that I've read, and then also a bunch that I kind of want to read. And I was also toying with the idea of making a whole reading vlog themed around this, and that is what you're watching right now. So there's a few books that were recommended to me in the comments actually of that last video that I'll be reading in this video, which is so exciting. And one of those books is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This has been so good so far. Like, I'm a little bit surprised about how much I'm liking this, and you guys were so right. This book has the perfect wholesome Studio Ghibli vibes. It is everything you could possibly wish for. So the story circles around these people that live in the protectorate, and they basically sacrifice a baby each year to this evil witch who lives in the woods and eats babies, supposedly needs babies of some kind. The woods will not harm the people of the protectorate as long as they sacrifice a baby. This is all false. This witch is a super kind witch. Her name's Zan, and she has this pet dragon, like a dragon bestie that's really small. It's hilarious because this dragon believes he is gigantic, but he's actually very small. Her other bestie is a swamp monster, so she's a great swamp witch. She actually rescues the babies each year. She has no idea why they're left there, but she rescues them and she journeys them to the other side of the woods where the freelance are. The witch feeds them starlight on the journey. And then one year she is particularly fond of a child that she picks up and accidentally feeds it moonlight, and so this child becomes magical. She has to take it in herself to take care of this child, and this is a young girl named Luna who grows up to be a super active wild child filled with magic to the brim. And we read as Luna is growing up and coming to terms with what has happened to her. We also follow a few characters from the protectorate that are looking at their society and like, what does it mean? There's so much magic, there's so much whimsicalness. The whole vibe of the book is just so good. It's very funny but warm and sweet at the same time. I'm having a great time with it. It really encapsulates those kind of wholesome, warm, light-hearted but deeper meaning and like philosophical themes that you see a lot in Ghibli movies, and those are like the things I love about them. So I'm having a great time with this. I'm so happy I picked it up and I cannot wait to finish it. I'm quite far in, but I haven't finished it just yet. I'm not really sure how I'm going to structure this reading vlog because I also want to give it kind of Ghibli vibes in the way it's filmed, and I'm going to Italy in 2 days to visit one of my best friends who's moved to Italy. I'm super excited. But as for today, I have a photo shoot planned for my webshop. I want to put together some jewellery for my webshop as well, so there's lots of stuff I want to be doing. So I'm just taking you with me on my days, and then I'm giving you some updates on my reading, which will all be Studio Ghibli themed. The next book on my list that I really want to read for this vlog is A Fragile Enchantment by Allison Saft. People say this is Bridgerton mixed with Studio Ghibli vibes, and that just sounds so good, so I really want to read this. These are my 2 reads, and I hope to give a wholesome Ghibli vlog with some wholesome Ghibli reads as well. Irish coffee. Oh. pepperoni boy.
It's with tuna.
Our Italian chef from Italy.
That is an Italian chef from Italy?
Oh.
The world has never seen this before.
Life changing.
I mean, wow, you've blown my mind.
I know, thank you.
I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight.
No?
I don't think I'm happy.
I got back from Italy a few days ago. I had a lovely time, the loveliest time, honestly. If you've never been to Italy, I highly recommend. It is so beautiful. Like I mentioned before, we were visiting one of my best friends who's moved to Italy, and we went to her boyfriend's family house in the mountains, and it was so beautiful. Oh my god, honestly, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. Also because her boyfriend is from there. It is so different because he knows like all these good places and he speaks Italian, so he can like translate for us. I also think it was perfect that this trip was right in the middle of me doing my Ghibli vlog, because every single scenic thing I saw was so Studio Ghibli. Like all the colorful houses, the mountains, everything. It was beautiful. We even had this wooden balcony, which was very Howl's Moving Castle in my opinion. And I also managed to finish my first Studio Ghibli themed read of this reading vlog. I definitely see where everyone was coming from with the Ghibli vibes. It has the themes of coming of age, and at the same time it has family and like sort of found family. There's certain characters in here that seem villainous that kind of get turned around, and I feel like that happens in Ghibli films as well, or at least the villains have sort of clear motives and are like grounded out and like sort of worked out as characters as well. I do have to say I enjoyed the first bit of the book the most, which was just so cute to see Luna growing up and to see her making friends. I thought the quirky side characters were incredible, like especially our little dragon called Firion. He is so cute. I love that he thinks he's ginormous, but he's really small. My favorite thing about the book. Also, there's a swamp monster in here who's like another little helper friend of the witch, and the swamp monster keeps reciting poetry for every single situation. So they'll be like in a strange situation and this swamp monster is like, oh, I know a poem about that. I think that's beautiful. There was also a lot of beautiful writing in here. I think especially the scenes where something emotionally difficult, like where the emotions are really visceral, they're really there. I think those scenes especially were written out so well. And the whole concept is just very fairy tale and sort of dreamy. Like I mentioned, I enjoyed the first bit the best. I think this book is also really good on audiobook. The later end of the book I read mostly physically, and I still enjoyed it, but it did get like more difficult to follow somehow, which is strange because a lot of the times I have the opposite experience where the audiobook is more difficult to follow. I also think it got a little bit more trippy in the end when everything was unraveling. I think that was intentional, but it still made me less attached to the story. I have to say though, very Ghibli, like especially the book for Howl's Moving Castle as well. Like towards the end, I never know what's going on. I'm always like, yeah, sure. I don't know. So in that regard, very similar. The Howl's Moving Castle film, I feel like I have a better grasp of what's going on, but maybe that's just because it's visually laid out for me. Either way, I do recommend this. I definitely think it has Ghibli vibes. and I think I'm going to give it like 3.5 stars, something like that, because I did have a good time, especially in the beginning. I am so excited to start my second book, which is rumored to be Bridgerton meets Studio Ghibli. I mostly hope it's very whimsical. I am in the mood for a little romance, so that's actually perfect right now. So I'm hoping to get started in this today, and I'll keep you updated as I go. I did all my unpacking etc. yesterday, so I have to get back to work today, so I'm going to see how much time I have to read, but hopefully on my lunch break etc. It is super gloomy outside, so that's unfortunate. I'm going to go on a morning walk now, because I've been doing my morning walks and I've been really enjoying them. I think especially if you work from home, it's so nice to have a sort of semblance of routine, and my morning walks are definitely a part of that. So I'm going to go do that, and then after that I'm going to get to work, and I will keep you updated on my reading. Hi guys, so I'm at Nina's place because I'm cat sitting this beautiful boy who's being held hostage. So I'm here for just a day looking after Nina's cat. He seems to be happy enough to see me, although he does seem a little bit disappointed that he cannot bribe me into feeding him more than he should be fed. But he's definitely trying. Also, I've just managed to figure out how Nina's coffee maker works. It's not, I mean, it's literally just an espresso machine, but I always get scared of breaking other people's stuff. But I've just managed that. But then I threw my entire iced latte over my book. But I've cleaned her up. She seems to be fine. So it's a wonderful day altogether. And I kind of told myself like, oh, I'll go there and I'll do some more work. Have I been working? No. Have I been sitting down cuddling the cat? Yes. But I do think this is a great time to do some more reading because there's sun coming on the balcony right now and I would love to just sit there and chill a bit. And I can always edit later this day because the only thing I want to do today is start editing this vlog. So maybe I'll just put it online after the weekend and I can have some chill time now. So if you're seeing this later, then you were hoping, well, that's why. So I'm currently around page 85 of A Fragile Enchantment and I'm really liking it so far. I wasn't really sure what to expect going in, and the whole story so far definitely has this twang of sort of romanticizing life and like beautiful atmospheric scenes that feel pastel colored and beautiful and filled with flowers, and it's just the vibes are really great and I love like that's all I need really. I need good vibes in a book, and I can definitely see the Ghibli vibes. Like this whole book feels like the Studio Ghibli painted watercolor backgrounds look. That's how it feels. My main girlie comes from Mechelen, and they've been sort of repressed by the Everand, and so it's really difficult for her to come into court and be a magical seamstress here and do her work, because she's kind of working for the people who've oppressed her, but she wants to do it in order to help her family, and she's also just one of those girls that really wants to follow her dreams. She's put a lot of magic and a lot of time and effort and willpower into her craft, so it feels really difficult when the prince turns out to be this snobbish guy that is impressed by her magical powers, but then is like, oh, it must be a trick. And she's to design him an entire wardrobe for him to get married in, but he doesn't really want to get married. He's angry with her and with the whole world, to be frank. But she's very annoyed because she's like, you're so privileged to be in that point of view, because for me it's been a struggle and I've worked hard to get here, and you're not going to ruin it for me by just being petulant and annoying all the time. I'm not sure if I used the word petulant right, but I felt like it should go there. It might mean something completely different, but I'm sorry about that if that's the case. I think especially the whole magical dressmaker palace thing feels very Ghibli-esque, and I've also just reached the part where the sort of Bridgerton vibes come in, because she's going to a few balls and she's discovering some secrets, and there's also a column where secrets are being blabbed of the high society, very Bridgerton. I really hope it's going to maintain its whimsy throughout the whole story. I definitely enjoy the dynamic between Neve and Kit so far, because Neve is just not putting up with any of Kit's bullshit, and I'm so here for that. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves when girls in books kind of sweep men's behavior under the rug just because they're handsome. It's dreamy and beautifully written so far, so I'm gonna enjoy myself with my iced latte and sit out on the balcony and read some more.
Hi everybody, I have managed to finish A Fragile Enchantment by Allison Saft,
Unfortunately, this took me such a long time to finish. I think over 3 weeks, which is very long for me. This vlog kept taking longer and longer, and then one day I just sat down to finish the whole thing, and I had to put on an ambient playlist to like sort of guide me through it and make me be more invested and involved with the story. I'm really sorry to say that I didn't like the last bit of this book as much as I enjoyed the first bit. I think in the beginning I was very dazzled by how beautifully Allison Saft can describe the ambience and the atmosphere and the way the story looks and all the beautiful things. And then when I got to the middle, I was kind of like, I don't really care that much for the whole entire plot, so it was really difficult for me to stay invested. I think one of my biggest gripes with the plot is just that I don't like cheating in books. Even though the woman he's engaged to, they're clearly not in a romantic involvement, it's political, and that's been set from the beginning. And the way the story goes, it's sort of glossed over, but also sort of like put in a way where it's like, no, but it's okay because of these things. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't know that going in. And I know I should probably not be the moral ethics police on this. It's more the way it's portrayed, and I think also I just rather don't enjoy that. I have a difficult time rooting for storylines like this when they're like sort of cheating or like it's kind of weird. I don't like, I'm not rooting for them. And something really strange happened towards the end, which is kind of a spoiler, so if you don't want to know anything about this book, then skip forward a little bit. But I'm going to discuss it now, so click away if you don't want to hear. Towards the end of the book, Kit reveals something towards Neve, which is basically like that his mother tragically died in a carriage ride, sort of being chased by paparazzi. And I was like, wait. Wait a second, does this mean you're Prince Harry and your mother is Princess Diana? And that pulled me out so much because it was word for word. It was a Prince Harry fanfiction. I cannot believe this. That pulled me out so much because that is such a real world thing. And I was in this fantasy world and now I'm out of it. That was really weird. If you just want to read a fun fantasy YA, then I think you might enjoy this, especially if you're a big ambience atmosphere girly. But yeah, it was unfortunately not really for me. Anyway, I'm going to end this Studio Ghibli themed reading vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely had a great time making it. I put so much time and effort into this. I've been really enjoying putting more effort into my YouTube videos instead of like trying to upload as much as possible. So I really hope that's being reflected within the video. Maybe not, but at least I had a great time making it. I hope you had a great time watching it. I hope you have a lovely day. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!